I'm going to come back to something that really resonates with my whole brand, and that is the before and after. So when I decided to shoot the girls that were in the audience, we decided to do a before shot of you, and we actually did it as a live capture because we wanted to see you talking with no makeup on and see you and get you to experience, you know, being in front of the camera, and which is, you know, naked face and vulnerable. And we talked about what beautiful means to all of us, and I think this is a really important aspect of my brand and the message that's inside my brand. And so before we photographed each of the girls, we sat them down and spoke to them, and this is our before.
Growing up, I never saw myself as beautiful.
You gotta feel beautiful inside.
So when I have a little bit of time for myself, I do feel the most beautiful.
Beautiful feels like confidence to me.
Growing up in Nigeria, there's a perfect picture of what a beautiful woman is. She's a particular complexion. She's got curves in certain places. When I grew up, I was never, ever that woman.
It's an inside experience, not just on the outside, but knowing that I can project that to the world, and knowing that, yeah, I can be confident and I can be beautiful. That's what it means to me.
No matter what size they are or whatever, if a woman is confident, she is just beautiful.
Being a photographer and being on the other side of the camera, it brings up fears. It's the extra pounds. I've had kids. I'm not that perfect skinny model that you think you see. And it makes me realize what it's like to be photographed.
I tell my clients, like, you know, just relax, just be calm and all that stuff. And then yet when it's my turn, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it's gonna happen, you know? And it's very exciting, yet it's very, you know, I'm just very nervous.
I started to embrace the things that I got teased about. I got teased about my eyebrows. I got teased about, you know, my hair. I used to get told, go shave your face. Toyi, go shave your face. Because I had so much hair on my face. But I think with time, I have learned to embrace that.
If I could give women a message about loving themselves, I would say, love yourself now, not when you lose the weight. Okay, and this one's emotional for me. Not when you lose the weight, not when you're 20, not when you're in the perfect genes. Love yourself today, because you are a gift. You are special, and you are someone to be valued and are as beautiful as the next person.
Isn't that cool? That's great. So you guys told me that. So that's pretty cool, because that's something that I believe in, everything that you said. I'm just intrigued by one thing. Most of you referred to a time... Oh, stop crying. Okay, it's their fault. They're looking at me and crying. Okay, most of you referred to a time in your teenage life where somebody said something to you that you still carry. And I brought it up with the boys because I think it's a great lesson for the boys. Why does a message that you hear when you're a teenage girl still hold to you when you're 30, 40? Why? And why do women have a direct connection between how they feel about themselves and how they look? Is it our media? Is it our society? Is it how we're brought up? I don't know. But all I know is that it does. It does have a direct connection to how we feel about ourselves, because otherwise I wouldn't have a business. And I think whatever that connection is to the emotional self and why we have that perception about ourselves is a really huge part of my brand. It doesn't have to be a huge part of yours. Some people might dismiss it and say, oh, I don't want to go into that with my female clients. But I find it's inevitable that I end up speaking to my clients about self-esteem, because I just do. So if you're going to photograph women, if you're going to shoot modern glamour, if you're going to do the makeover, then you have to really, I think, be prepared for the fact that you could, and this is something that I highly value in my life, and my values are in my business and in my brand, which makes a brand more successful. All right, so what we then did was we photographed each of the girls, and each of the girls got to experience their before shot. I asked them all to bring, exactly as I would in the studio, a couple of outfits each, and we prepared them with hair and makeup, and we photographed them. So I guess the difference being is when it's in my studio, you have the security of being in a private room when you see your photographs for the first time, not in a public one. So anyway, Amanda, I photographed you first, so you have to go first. It's just the way it is. So let's have a look at, I feel like I'm like, and these were your shots. You're still in the running to be America's Next Top Model.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sue. That is amazing.
You are. Isn't that beautiful? All right. I said I'm not crying, so nobody's allowed to cry. It's so not fair. You're bawling. I knew you'd be a baller. Okay. Is that cool? So, you know, I mean, that's it really, isn't it? I mean, it's, I think everybody has definitely something that I see in them is everybody brings forward a certain, not a character, but definitely something that I can see. And you just look like a little bit of a 50s starlet to me. I just saw that bombshell hair and, you know, and I just really love that. So I thought it was really beautiful. TY. The idea with you was I just loved, obviously you have magnificent hair, which is the most striking thing about you, until you get in front of a camera. And then I didn't care about your hair because your face is so beautiful and I just enjoyed photographing you so much.
Oh my word.
I didn't know if I liked that in colour or black and white, so I had to show you both because I just think that is so beautiful.
Oh my God. Oh my word. Oh no. Oh wow. Oh my word. Oh my, wow. Oh my why. Is that me?
It's you, baby.
Wow. Oh my word.
It's cool, huh? Yeah, I think that's definitely a what a woman in Nigeria should look like.
Yes. Oh my word.
Mapu.
Oh my God.
Your smile is so beautiful. I just about photographed every single image of you smiling.
I love it. Wow.
I love the goal.
I love it. I feel like I just look so slim in there, like, you know.
And you had no slimming in post. Everything
That's
you girls
amazing.
did was slimmed in camera.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love
Which
it.
is actually very important to me. So I think Sandra. I love that shot. I love that shot. I really love that.
Who is that? Who is that? What's that hot mama dress?
There you go. I don't know why you're clapping. They're your photos. You know, it's
Sue, the internet is clapping. The internet is going crazy. Just
what I want to do is I just want to show everybody how I shot each one of those shots. So I want you to go and sit in your position that you were in. I want people to understand that even though they couldn't watch the shooting of it, and next time I will let them watch, because I wanted to have that private moment with you. I don't think I could have had that with cameras and a crew. But I just want to show people that we shot it at the Creative Live warehouse, and that we have a high window with a brick corner and where we shot them. So it's really important to me. And after we show them where we were for those ones, so that people can understand the scenario, where the reflector was, where the light source is coming from, we'll show them each one of those hot ones there. Okay? So I'll start with TY. We shot TY on this black V. There's no mystery here in terms of how we shot it. There's only one light source at Creative Live, and that is this set of windows along here. TY was sitting on this little spongy thing here.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of her shots were taken right here. I didn't need to reflect light back to her because there's a nice even blanket of light coming in here. But what you'll notice with all of TY's shots is the light is hitting the upper half of the black backdrop, so it puts a nice mid-grey tone around her head that looks like a halo. So it looks very studio lit, this image of her, but it's actually not. The image that we took of her hands was standing up, and she was literally standing in the center here. I'm standing here, and she was holding her hands up like this. That's exactly right. So both hands up, that's it, and then looking back through. So this hand's actually higher. That's a girl, and you were looking back through this way, and I shot it horizontally onto that black. So just using that balance of light, if you have a look, it's on the screen now. You can see the little halo of grey-blue around her that looks studio lit, but it's not. And there's just a perfect amount of light. Now, because TY is got dark hair, she was wearing a black outfit, and she's on the black background, I was shooting that 2 stops under, because I was watching the camera get confused, and it was saying I need a better light source, but I just went with the camera. So if you trust the camera, it'll not work, and if you go with what you can see on the back of the camera, I shot at 2 full stops underexposed, and if you have a look here, it's so beautiful. None of those highlights had to be brought up in camera. They all just bounced straight up from her face, and there was a white reflector here just coming into this corner, but not enough to actually make a significant difference. The only thing I had to do in post-production on this image was to lighten the bottom of her eye around her iris, because her eyes had no catch light, because her hands were covering the only light source, there was no catch light in her eye. So I just bounced a dodge into the bottom of her eye so you could see her dark brown eye colour. Okay, so that was right there. If you just turn the camera this way, you get to see where I photographed both Mapu and Amanda. So Amanda, come here. Amanda's shot was sitting in front of this ottoman, so she sat down on the floor, and so did I. The idea with this shot is that we can bring her arms up into play, so it's a beauty shot, and I'm shooting it horizontally, so her arms were just leaning up on her knee and at here. So at this point, Simona sits to my direct right, and she's sitting with me with a fan. Now, we had the 2 big white reflectors, so if you turn these around, they become white, and they were here and here, so 2 large white reflectors. Now, the reason I have my 2 reflectors here and here, and I leave a space, in fact, somebody said, I think it was TY, I should get a reflector and cut a hole in it so that my lens can just poke through, because it would actually make it easier. I'm trying to take a light reading off her face, bouncing light from there to the reflector back to her face. Her hands are touching. We've got big, sexy hair, and Simona's sitting right here like this with the hairdryer, and she's often right in my space here, shooting them with the hairdryer right there, because we want that beautiful action. We've got 2 massive reflectors. Amanda doesn't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. Sue keeps telling her to put a bloody chin forward and down one more time. Push it forward. And what do I keep saying? Give me the eyes, Amanda. Give me the eyes. Give me the eyes, Amanda. Give me the eyes. And she's like, am I not getting it right? But the thing is this beauty shot relies solely on the way she's looking at me. And I think you can agree that we got her. If you look at her expression, the way she's looking at me is so perfect that without that look, that shot does not work. So when I keep saying to her, give me the eyes, give me the eyes, give me the eyes. Also, I'm not really big on lots of jewellery, but Amanda loves the fleur-de-lis, so we put this beautiful earrings there and her beautiful bracelets there, and I just think those close-up shots are absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. Then what I did is I photographed Mapu without moving anything. I photographed Mapuana by pulling this away from the wall, and then I pulled the reflectors back, and Mapu lay on her tummy, straight down. From there, exactly the same position, lifting up nice and tall through your neck and shoulders. This hand goes across your body line here. I shot this entire sequence here, chin around this way, Mapu, lifting up nice and tall. Reflectors were here and here. Simona was sitting to my left. She's hitting that straight away with the fan, and we went through all of her scenarios there. This one here, such a beautiful pose. It's so slimming on the arms, lifting it up. What we did was we opened the arms up and then brought this one in and the elbow out. So when we put triangles in, they look more interesting. She's lifting up nice and tall. She's working her shoulder. And her booty's not kicked up because it doesn't need to be. You know, I think the booty can be kicked up when it's a sexy shot, but when it's a smile like that and it's that pretty, it suits being exactly where it is. And it's just a beautiful line for the hands. The arms look slim, they're away from the body. You can connect this chin to the shoulder and pushing forward and down. And you were another one, weren't you? Chin forward and down, Mapu. Oh, yes. Chin forward and down, Mapu. Chin forward and down, Mapu. So you do get really sick of hearing that because I repeat it multiple times. Then without moving that, thank you, Mapu, I got Sandra to come in. And with the white reflectors, we pick up the white reflectors and we drag them this way and we put them here. We grab the couch and we pull it forward to there, because I like to shoot everything at 45 degrees. Amanda lay down on her tummy, and she's long, and the couch is short, so I got her to push right back until her knees touched, and that's why her feet are up in the air. Again, she didn't need to have the sexy hip going on because she's in jeans and a top. She's lifting right up through her neck and shoulders. This hand is relaxed, that one's over there. Her right chin is around this way, nice and tall. I'm sitting right here, and we don't shoot this with a fan. 2 big white reflectors, exactly the same shot. Right? Perfect. So as you can see, the light source is quite high here, but it's a large light source. And even though it's high, and we don't have a lot of room to move in terms of, you know, I was really worried when I first saw it. I was like, oh, I saw it in the evening. Is there going to be enough light? It is not a really bright studio, but it is such a perfect studio to bounce because these reflectors are so large that the light just bounces straight down and catches them. So potentially, we have all of this space, and I used these 4 meters. I then used this wall over here. So if you go to the next slide, let's go through this again. TY is back in here again. This time TY is here. So we didn't have anything to lean on. We're just improvising. We found these. So we got TY to kneel, and I sat down here. She put her elbows onto here. And the idea is that we just moved around and did a whole lot of beauty shots right there. So see how the background's got a nice grey tone to it? That's the same black background. The light's just bouncing straight down to her. I'm shooting it 2 under. The elbow comes across this way, and then we swapped over. We did our different poses here, and this was our beauty pose, just like we did on the white ottoman before. Then you came out, Mapuana came in. Mapuana's in fishnet stockings and her underwear and a lace top. And we needed the little stool, Simi, the little stool. So the idea here is that Mapu's sitting there, and she's in her fishnets. Her foot's up on her stool because we want to shape the legs. This knee is together because we want to hourglass the bottom half of the body. This hand goes up, across, that one goes up, and she was cupping her face and doing what she does best, smiling at me. Okay, so the idea here is the boobs were pulled back, so we pull back through here because it's nice and slimming, creates space, and we're directing from the front, we're directing her elbows down towards her waist, which tapers her in. If she pulled her elbows out, that would make her go out. We want her to go in, so we bring her elbows down, and that connects to the diamond. So then you went out, and then we brought Amanda in. And this was really interesting because Amanda was getting dressed behind this because people were watching, and I had this pulled away from the wall, and as soon as she went in there, I saw the light jump around this corner like that. And as soon as I saw it, Amanda came around to here, except for those lights were off, and she's right here, and we instantly went into a cover girl here. Okay, and so straight away, we were in there, we had it backlight. I did not have a front light source in this image, so I just exposed for her face and pushed it in raw. And there's no slimming in that in post-production either. There's no slimming in any of these images because what she's doing here is she's kicking forward and she's working her upper body towards me. Okay, the hardest part, weight on your other foot. The hardest part about this was to get her to roll her shoulders forward, but to keep her chin projected forward, because when people roll their shoulders forward, they project their neck up. So I had her push forward, and she was working it there, and obviously Simona's standing right here like this, hitting her with the fan. And then lastly, Sandra's was over this way. So I wanted to shoot Sandra not on the brick wall because I felt like we'd already done the brick wall for Amanda, and I wanted to be a little bit different. So I have one light source which is coming from here, and so I hit this wall here. So Sandra came in and she stood here. All right, so I put this little V here to block what's going on so I could shoot down the line. She had all of her weight on her back foot. She was leaning down with her left shoulder. This hand here was touching the back of her bum. This hand here was on her thigh. Slide up, elbow back, bring your chin long and forward, and I shot that right there just above the eye line. So if you have a look at that image, you can see I'm just above her eye line, but I'm not shooting down on her. I'm just shooting above her, and it's a perfect little slide down the wall here, and the more she slides, the slimmer she looks. Okay? So, dun dun dun. I repeated most of the scenarios for each of the girls and swapped the chairs over, used the brick wall, used a different couch, used those little spongy things. But other than the two big reflectors and the flat ottoman, the chair, and the two spongy things, we used nothing else.